Hey guys, welcome to Vindictive Charity Lockdown Cup. I'm your host for today, 24, Charlie. This is Nathan slash Quaz, who will be casting, as well as Rook slash Ollie. And today, the teams will be Team Havik and Team Divergent. The first map that we're going to play is Overpass, as you can see. This is Divergent's chosen choice, and then the next map will be Train, which is Team Havoc's chosen choice, and then Mirage will be the decider. Today on the teams for Team Divergent, there is the captain, Russell, Krem, Ralphie, JPEX, and Max. And Team Havik on their team will be the captain will be Flicky, Rust, Zymzy, CSD, and Wellard. And yeah, and it's the semi-finals today, and the team who will be losing this, they will become third place in this cup, and whoever wins this, it needs to be decided who they're going to be playing. But I do know that the prize will be £75 and £25 for the chosen charity. So good luck. This is going to be a very decent game. So Quaz and Rick, who do you think is going to win this?
Um, in my opinion, at the moment, so from what I've seen from both teams and from what I've seen previously, I think Team Divergent is going to take this series overall.
And what do you think, Brooke?
Well, I'm a little bit new to this community, so I haven't seen all too much, but I'm going to stick with Quads because and Team Divergent because he has made a pretty convincing argument, honestly, so far. As we're pretty much getting into the game, it's test one.
And I do know that Flicky is playing on Havoc's team, and I know he played very, very well in the last games that we actually casted Quaz. So Quaz, can I ask, who do you think is going to be the star player today? Do you think?
Star player overall, for Team Divergent, I'll probably be looking at JPEX and Ralphie, and for Havik, as you said before, probably just focus on Flicky.
Well, I do know that Team Divergent anyway, they've done very well and they've won the semi-finals of the SEL 2-0, taking them to the Scottish Esports League. But anyway, I will let you both cast.
Yeah, and I mean, that was a really solid round one from Team Havik. The players who were kind of highlighting in Flicky and Zimzy really showing up early on there.
To be fair, they did that double nade stat towards Connector and completely read Team Divergent in that round. So perfect read from Team Havik, but if we're looking into the second round buy, it does seem Divergent sticking with the eco as they're looking to get that third round buy in to maximise, see if they can capitalise on these CT's lower economy.
Interested to see more FAMASs rather than SMGs to try and get that extra bonus, but I mean, a lot of teams have kind of been playing around with a lot of these openings, haven't they?
Yeah, it's quite interesting actually because they're going to be looking to take those FAMASs into the third round. Where if Divergent does decide to buy, Divergent will have the stronger weaponry in terms of the rifles because it will have those AKs on board. But we'll see what Wellard can do with the MP9, but he is towards the short area. And high player we highlighted before, Flicky, getting a 4K in the second round, 3K in the first round, starting off the game strong. To buy
Yeah, that was
Divergent will have the
pretty
stronger
insane,
weaponry
honestly.
in
I
terms
mean,
of the rifles.
normally I look at
Because
FAMAS
we'll
and
have
I'm
those AKs
not
on board.
super happy about
We'll
it
see
because,
what
as
Wellard
you
can do with
said,
the
going
MP9,
into this third round, you're a little bit down. But if you're picking up a 4K like that on Flicky, I think you're pretty happy with whatever weapon you can get your hands on as he picks up that AWP.
Exactly. So it's going to be interesting to see what he can do over to this A side of the map with it, as he loves to play over towards the bathrooms area, gets up and aggressive. So if we see if he goes for any aggressive picks, but Divergent here playing a really passive default, knowing they're probably going to have that ult up. They have 2 towards ramp, 2 towards con, and 1 outside monster.
Yeah, pretty slow push as of yet. They're looking to try and push out of the tunnels here. Watching the angle, CSD gets the peak round, takes down Max, and opens up the round for their team yet again. And put them in such a good position. Flicky finds that first shot. Zimzy will fall, and they're trying to peek out into water here, but a good hold. JPEX is able to find a frag and is 2 versus 3, but moving now into alley. This isn't good for him as JPEX will fall, and it's 1 versus now 2 as he does find the frag. Kerem able to get something, but finishing off this round, I think he's better off saving.
Exactly. It's still 1v2. Bombs down. Has a minute left on the clock, so he has plenty of time to play around with this. He does know where one of the CTs rotated. He did hear one to rotate towards short B, so he should be expecting CSD there. But it seems that he's going to double back on himself, go back towards B, and you can see in Team Havik, they're not taking the bait that he was going towards A. We have Flicky up towards Heaven, we have CSD towards short B, and this 1v2 is seeming quite impossible unless he can pick up this first kill instantly.
Yeah, but with the angle being held by CSD here, he's not going to be able to find that. And that is Team Havik 3-0. And I mean, we were excited about Team Divergent coming into this, but things certainly aren't going the way early on here.
Well, we can certainly see that Flicky's having a hot start to the game as he did in his last series, and unfortunately from Divergent, we only have 4 frags on the board in total. So we're going to need to see them pick it up in this first half if they actually want to be contesting Team Havik, because it looks like they came here to play today.
Yeah, I mean, you were talking about how Flicky really is that win condition. If he shows up, Team Havik are just such a force to be reckoned with, and you just need to respect them. Divergent picking up these pistols, looking to get something out of here, but here is the spray down. CSD will find 2. Flicky, sorry, 3. Flicky finds 2, and Team Havik, another fantastic round from them.
And there we go, Flicky just racking up those kills 10-0 right now. He's having an absolute amazing start to this game. But we are going into the second gun round for Divergent. They have everything they need. 5 AKs, full utility on everybody. So see if they can impress us a bit more in this round, because the first round they just seemed to run into that B stack and didn't seem to get much done. But we'll see what we can do with it this time.
We can. Ralphie is holding the angle, but he does get smoked on off. Slimzy gonna get a HE in there. Whether it'll deal enough damage will be seen. I think Max took a little bit there, but still for now, Divergent setting themselves on up, but they just walk out into these angles and are not winning these duels. We do see Howie pick up that first one, and Russ is using this as an opportunity to move on in, but Zimzy is just holding the angle. Almost takes down Ralphie as well, but they are able to get on site. Divergent now looking for that plant, but the frag comes on in from Howie. It is now 1 on site versus 3 on the retake, but he does not have bomb, and Divergent yet again in such an awkward position.
And he gets tagged through the box by Flicky. Flicky is just not missing today. 12-0, just absolutely demurking Team Divergent on this CT side. They seem to be going for these fast contact plays, Divergent, and it doesn't seem to be working out for them because they're not going as a team. They're not flashing these angles properly. And you can see what it does. Team Havik are so good on these trade frags at the moment that they have not had a single advantage in this game so far. They need to start working together as a team more, start putting up the pace and stop going so fast into these angles and not baiting out enough utility from Team Havik. But this round, obviously, we can see we have a bit of we have 3 Deagles, 1 CZ, 1 P250, 2 flashes and smoke. There's not much they can do here. Hope they're looking for Team Havik to make a mistake, to make a slip up, to give them an opening. They might find that towards A, towards Banana, because they are playing really passive on A. So it's a good call from Divergent here. But have we seen how strong CSD and Flicky have been playing? I'm not even concerned they're going to lose this side.
Yeah, they have some fantastic aim, and they've just been playing some really solid angles. Right now, we do see the push towards CSD. He's waiting in the wings here. The smoke has bought them some of that extra time, but as it pops, we see the utility go on over, but they're not checking for him. He manages to find the second. The flash is able to help him, and they clean that one up. Sure, CSD falls, but yet again, Team Havik just ripping through Divergent.
Exactly. It just seems they just have too much confidence right now. Divergent are making it so easy for Team Havik to get these trade kills. It's a 5 versus 2 on the A site there, and you saw how proficient they were in getting those trade fags. They're absolutely playing out of their mind. Flicky and CSD on A site have that absolutely locked down, but it does seem they're going for a B stack here, actually, and leaving Flicky towards mid by himself. And look at the read.
What a fantastic read it is. How he will find, I think, 3 there. Yeah, managed to get that wall bang. And, I mean, Wellard is trying to find that 4th there. But, I mean, Kurum is on 3 HP, trying to fall on back. What do you even do in this situation? There is basically no remedy for getting absolutely destroyed in that.
Exactly what you said. That everything Team Havik are reading Team Divergent to the T right now. There's nothing they can do. They can do no wrong. They knew they were going to be rushing B. That's why they put CSD over there, left Flicky towards mid. They have so much confidence that Flicky can just hold mid by himself, pick up that 1 frag and fall back. But luckily for Flicky, or luckily for Team Divergent, they didn't even go mid to face Flicky, so they could have that 4th player towards the B side and stop that 5-man monster rush. But it's actually quite disappointing what we're seeing from Divergent here. They seem to be rushing the gun here. I know they're down 6-0, probably going to be 7-0 now, but they just seem to be rushing into it. They're not easing into it. They're not running their defaults. They're not playing slow. They're not drawing out the utility. They just seem to be wanting to take these aim fights. And right now, how Team Havik are too warmed up. They're too hot for them, and they're getting outdueled every single time.
Yeah, we need to see some more tactical play. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to get absolutely railed here. Is Team Havik, as you say, just winning these aim duels, playing solidly, and Divergent just kind of running into the crossfire as we saw there. They need to calm down, get their heads together, and come up with a strategy.
Exactly. This is where we should see a tactical pause come from Team Divergent. But When you get in these situations, sometimes you're not thinking straight, you're not thinking clearly. They're not going to go for the pause. No one's really fragging on Divergent as well, so there's no silver lining there. They do manage to get together a buy here, but really though util on the Team Divergent side, and they're really going to be needing this to push down these 8 players. And look what they're doing now. They're doing a 3 towards long setup. They're so dynamic, Team Havik, right now. They have so much confidence in the world that they can play any setup they want, and they do not fear Team Divergent will counter it.
I mean, when you're 7-0 up, you really can't blame them. They're starting to push up aggressively. Fleet is holding the angle. Ralphie will punish that accordingly. I mean, that one kind of needed to get punished at this point. And finally, we do see Flicky fall for the first time in this match on round 8. Wellard, though, holds strong, and what looked like a ray of hope for Team Divergent has not boded well for them. They've now managed to get on site, but the retake is 4 versus 3, and they've used a lot of utility to get on here. Max is the only one with any remaining. They're going to move into their positions as Zimzy is trying to creep in behind. JPEG is watching, but loses the Angel, and Team Havik continuing to just win fight after fight, pushes through the smoke, mistake after mistake from Team Divergent, as they are just falling apart, it seems.
Exactly what you said, mistake after mistake there. You even see in a 3 versus 4 situation with the bomb down the post plant, Divergent are taking these solo Angels. They're doing their solo plays. They're not playing as a team right now. And you see Team Havik, all they're doing is holding for these mistakes because they know they have the man advantage, so they know they can trade out in that situation. Divergent really need to slow down the pace here and start thinking about teamwork rather than doing their solo individual plays.
Yeah, I mean, I liked the fact that we saw some more passivity there from players like Ralphie, but it doesn't really matter when, as you said, people aren't all on the same page. People got caught out as they tried to push on in aggressively. We saw Wellard find those frags, and Team Divergent just need a real shake-up here. And, I mean, to be fair, it should be a big shock to the system when Team Havik are already 8-0 and up. We're finally going to see Divergent trying to push on through. Did delay a little bit, but Aui's just holding the angle. Flicky was there to back on up. Sure, Aui goes down, but again, it's Karum alone versus the world. He is finding a couple of frags, but with only 16 HP, not long for this world. And Flicky...
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we see what they've gone back to. They went back to what they started with, the fast speed contact plays, and it's still not working out for them. This flash that they're throwing over Monster is not catching off this Barrels player, but they have the Molotovs to flush this Barrels player out. It's just that right now, because they are in a really bad spot, they are flustered. They're not thinking straight. They're not actually. They're just trying to out aim them now. The tactics have gone out the window for Team Divergent. As you can see, they're just grouping up as a 5 again, going towards short B, and it's probably going to be a massacre.
Yeah, I mean, Wellard doesn't actually manage to get the frag off that, and it really looked like a good position to do it. As a result, they're going to rush on in. They do take down Wellard, and the utility does work initially. However, the rifle remaining for Flicky should be able to find a couple of frags. Divergent are going to pick up around here, however. They've got the rifles. They're going to be able to pick them up off the corpses. It should be set up. Flicky peeks really aggressively, gets taken down, and this is really what Divergent needed.
There we go. This now has to be the round which gets the fire back under these boys, and they need to pick up, unfortunately, the last 5 rounds of this half to make it competitive, I think. Especially with how Team Havik playing. They had a little slip up there. Divergent hit some nice shots entering onto the B site, but this is the thing, they can't rely on it so far because we've seen what has happened the past 9 rounds before, so it hasn't been working. It's worked that one time, but they need to find a consistent way which they can win.
They can't just rush that tunnel every round because most of the time, as you said, isn't working. They're going to invest a lot of utility from Team Havik here to try and keep them off, but actually Divergent going for completely the other side of the map as they are pushing onto A here. I think Flicky has figured it out and he has moved to position, finds one. I thought that was going to be a collab for a second there, but doesn't actually find it. Quick rotates from Team Havik. They know they've made a mistake here. They've gotten caught out. Flicky falls for the third time, and this is a big opportunity again for Team Divergent. They're even in players, but they do have site control. The utility will keep them off for a little bit here, and I mean, the aggression from Team Havik will be abated. Karum is moving into position to try and get this plant. The rest of his team looking to cover. Watch out behind as we do have Aui looking for that flank, and I don't know if Divergent are already looking for it. Russell is not, gets caught out, and now this is so bad. You've got one player on the bomb, one a little bit further back. Zimzy finds that frag, and now with the smoke, the only player remaining is Max. He gets the headshot. He's looking for a little bit more, trying to get the wallbang. Does take down Zimzy. It is Org to finish it off, and CSD in the clutch manages to pick it up for their team, taking them to 10-1.
Exactly. It was a commendable 1v3 there for Max, but unfortunately just had too little health to pick up CSDA there on that last player. But Team Havik, it doesn't even matter how they win these rounds anymore. It doesn't matter if it's pretty. They're getting these rounds on the board. They're getting that lead even further and further away from Divergent. And we have to remember whose map pick this is. This is Team Divergent's map pick. And if they're getting 10-1 on their map pick right now, it's not looking good for the rest of this series. So if we have a look at what's happening here, we do have the nice default here from Divergent. They're just trying to limit the map control that Team Havik's trying to get from them. They do have the 2 towards Monster and the 2 towards Playground, just trying to make sure that any of the CT aggression that Havik have been showing, that they're going to absolutely nullify it. They're saving their utility to probably push back Flicky on towards the bathrooms, because we've seen how prolific he's been with that up towards the bathrooms area, getting pick after pick. We do see him take the short B, and there we go. Perfect utility there from Team Divergent, flashing Wellard, and then Russell getting that pick.
Certainly is some good starts to the round, and I mean, what are they going to have to do here to really try and execute?
Well, they have the utility to do whatever they want. They have the man advantage. They can go towards B, but the problem is right now is that they do have Team Havik do have 3 players towards B, and it doesn't seem like Divergent aren't doing anything to counter that. But as you do see the push come in, it is a 3 versus 3 though. It's still in the retake.
Some good stuff, honestly. Nice frag there from CSD to take down JPEX. It's 3 versus 2. The defenders have the advantage as the bomb is not yet down. CSD holding strong from that position, finds yet another, and with that orb, is really keeping their team in good standing. Manages to finish it on off, and Team Havik really rocking it.
I'll tell you what, Flicky and CSD have been absolute pillars in this defense so far for Team Havik. Anywhere they go, B, A, anywhere on this map, they are good for at least a couple of frags, and Divergent just can't seem to stop them at the moment. They don't seem to have the firepower, they don't seem to have the coordination to stop these players from Team Havik from absolutely getting these multi-kills, and that is punishing them so much.
It certainly is, and I mean, it just needs to be that fragging which is coming through. Alongside just a little bit more of tactics. We do see some good shots back and forth. JPEX will be able to clean things on up with Max, but they lose a player for that, which they really just shouldn't have been in. Getting caught out on a lot of these angles, pushing Flicky, just trying to jiggle peek for your, getting punished massively.
There you go. You do not want to be peeking into Flicky right now. He has had too much warm-up this half. Gets 2 kills towards mid. He's just not missing. He's not missing a beat right now. Luckily, Russell was able to put it down, but it's not for too much longer. As Wellard is by truck with the fast rotate, managing to pick up Russell. And again, Team Havik, even if they do lose the first couple of picks there, they're able to bring it back with these individual performances.
They certainly are. Not much longer feels like, even though we're having a timeout here, the name of the game, because Team Havik are completely demolishing Divergent. I think this timeout is necessary. You need to kind of, as we said before, take a break. I think, and I think you'd agree with me on this, this is way too late.
Exactly. It's way too late in the first half of this. They're 12-1 down. This needed to happen at least 4 or 5 rounds ago, in my opinion. But what this can do for a team, though, is if they do have this timeout and they do get a couple rounds on the board and they start the second half out strong, it doesn't matter if they win the game, as long as they start out strong and they're getting their warm-up in these first few rounds. That means that for the second map of Train, we can see a different Divergent play in there. But that does all come down to how they are using this tactical timeout and how they plan to get their attack different, because so far nothing's really worked apart from that fast short B push on an eco round. Their gun runs have not been prolific enough. They have been really struggling to get onto these sites without losing too many players, because I said players like Flicky and CSD are just having such an incredible game right now that they're picking up multi-kills on multi-kills on multi-kills every single round. Divergent need to figure out a way to stop these guys in their tracks so they're only picking up one, or even flashing off the angle and pushing them back.
Yeah, some efficient refragging could make all the difference in the world here, and I need to see that from Divergent, and resetting for the next game. Because you know what? This map, you can easily write this off. This is not particularly a good look for you. You want to try and reset yourself in the next game, get kind of chilled out, as you said, warm up your aim, and then come back with a vengeance. Exactly. That's still going to be very hard, though, for Divergent.
100%. The best. I said it is a best of 3, so even if they do lose this map quite heavily, the series is not over, and there's always a way for them to come back. But if Team Havik are playing how they are, unfortunately, I really don't see a way unless Divergent starts stepping up their individuals.
Howie finds Karum, finds Russell. Again, playing this position has been so fantastic for them. Even though it's the only way Divergent have found anything, Pax does find a frag onto Howie, trying to keep things at least close here. But their team is still down a player, and still Team Havik are on this site, holding strong, and Divergent keep on pushing in. It's such a mistake.
Exactly, they don't have the utility, they're just peeking without utility onto the site, and you see what's happening, but Max just getting a lovely wallbang there on CSD. My goodness, when JPEX comes up monster and gets a kill on Zimzy, it's now into a 2 versus 2.
This is not what we expected. They were looking so shaky here for Divergent, but Team Havik messes up a couple of these frags. Wellard pushes aggressively, takes one. Oh, the spray is there! JPEX finds 2, and Divergent pick up their second round of the match.
There we go. Now the 1v2 from JPEX. Now this is going to get them fired up, hopefully. I know the scoreline's still rough, but as I said, if they start winning these rounds, if they start getting some rounds on the board, that can make all the difference to this team's confidence right now. And this is what we need to see. We need to see the clutches. We need to see the individual performances. Otherwise, Team Havik are just going to whitewash them in the second half.
Absolutely. I mean, in the final round of the half now, coming into it with a bit of momentum. If Divergent can pick up this one, while obviously there's the econ reset, it could be a big opportunity. As such, they're looking to run out guns a-blazing. They do get 3, but they lose 2 in response, and Flicky is still alive, making a big impact. JPEX is finally able to take them out, but now it is 1 versus 2. However, is on the flank. I think this is going to be hard because they're probably going to look back for him, but if he can interrupt this, if he manages to get the timing, he's a little too far away. Exactly. He might be able to grab the first frag and then from there make a big play.
There's only one thing. Wellard does not have that kit, so he's gonna have to pick up the pace here, and he's going in right into the AWP of Ralphie, and he's not missing that shot, unfortunately. But 12-3 half for Team Havik, must say, absolutely dominant performance. But we'll see what Team Divergent can do. They did get those last 2 rounds, so we'll see how they start off the second half to see if they can get a bit of momentum going now. See if they can pick up this. If they pick up this pistol round, I think we're going to see a different Divergent for the rest of this series.
Indeed, this could be the. I hate to be so loosey-goosey with terms, but like an emotional turning point, because when you're starting to pick up rounds, you pick up more, you frag better, you feel happier, everything's kind of going away. And Divergent picking up these 2 is more important than I think people really recognize. So going into this pistol round, they're really looking to get these shots. They should be good for them. They have the USP, so obviously they got that bit of an advantage and are looking to click heads where they can. Karum tries to find someone on the crosshair, doesn't find anything, and the bomb already going down. Divergent not contesting very far up. The rotates are going to come on in, but there hasn't been any casualties yet. So trying to play aggressive, bit of team damage there, but they do find the frags. Divergent making things happen across the board. Headshots are plenty right now, as they are keeping things in pretty good stead. Only 1 remaining. They don't drop a player. They get the defuse, and Divergent pick up the pistol round.
I must say that I've seen some 5 versus 5 retakes in my time. That was by far the cleanest and messiest one that I've seen. Somehow Divergent do not lose a single player there. And this is what we're on about. That pistol round's going to give them so much confidence now. They picked up the pistol, but we do see a buy coming in from Havik. They're giving that Hero AK over to Flicky, and we do have one on Rusty as well. So we'll see what these guys can do with it. But the thing is, they don't want to give away that they have these AKs too soon. That's why you'll probably see the Deagles take point, the AKs come in after. But we do see from Divergent's buy, we do have 2 rifles. We have 3 rifles on the board, excuse me, with the 2 Famases and the 1 M4. But we do have the 2 MP9s for those money makers. Now, those MP9s will be really efficient against Zimzy and Wellard, who do not have any armor, but they do have the Deagles for the 1 shot.
Yeah, keep an eye on these hero AKs, as you so highlighted, as they can make all the difference. That head armor as well, really changing up that TTK. So keep an eye on them as they are pushing up to this A site, and also on Rafi, who's going to have to be that big player to try and deal with them as they do push on in, most likely.
Exactly. We just see them going for the creep A long here, and as soon as they get to the flowers, they're rushing. You see 5-man rush now straight towards long, trying to take this site by force. And there you go. CSD get the first pick onto JPEX.
Yeah, they're going to be able to get this point down pretty darn quick. Rusty has moved into position, but the molly does force him out. He finds the first frag. Rusty looking to potentially get that peak round is actually just waiting for him, and Rafi walks right on into his line of fire. Flicky does get his own teammate as he's trying to spray through that smoke. Unfortunately, does happen sometimes. They all push on in. The frags come on out, and it is now Karum versus 2. doesn't have the weapons advantage, but will just take down Flicky using that MP9 at range. He's getting so aggressive right now. He wants it. He feels the greed, and he does find it. This is Divergent showing us another side of them.
Exactly, but the important thing here is though Team Havik did get that bomb plant and they did get 4 kills. So if you even have a look at Havik's economy here, if they really wanted to press the issue, they could go for another buy with CSD and Aoi picking up those AKs. But it looks like they're going to play conservative here. They're going to grab up the pistols, grab a little bit of armor. They've got 2 flashes on Flicky, the smoke and the flash on Aoi, and we have a HE on Wellard. Another flash on Zimzy as well. So just looking probably to go towards Connector and A here, just to flash off the CTs off the angle and see if they can get a quick pick. But we do see from Divergence buy, we do have the AWP on Ralphie, we have the AK on Krem, and we do have the A1 on JPEX. With Max and Russell do have the money makers of the MP9.
We're seeing a bit of a rush here, straight onto A. The AWP is waiting as Ralphie will take down the first one, takes down the second. JPEX will back up with 2 quick frags, and it's only Flicky now. I do, however, like what Havik have done here by not buying, because it really sets them up for a couple of rounds in the future where they just need to string together a couple. They are still on 12 points. Divergent, sure, you can have that recency bias. They picked up a couple of rounds really solidly in the last couple. Team Havik, get an advantage, destroy Divergent's economy. It can all fall to pieces in a second.
See, now this is why I think this will probably be the turning point in this map. If Team Havik are able to pick it up, they're probably going to close out the map with ease. But if Divergent manage to pick this one up, we can see this going the distance, in my opinion. And we see there Ralphie going towards Monster, picking the first kill off onto Zimzy.
He does. The flash comes on out, and Rusty rushes them down, much like they've done to him in multiple rounds. This time, Rusty is oh so successful. CSD will back them on up, and Team Havik have gotten this point already. The molly just about not hitting Wellard here, and he will peek. Does get shot through the very edge of that smoke, as we do see Karum find that. Karum finds a second to back up their team. Flicky taking some damage here, but Rusty holding strong in water with the backup is able to net that round, and Havik pick up their first round on attacking side.
See, now Aoi's massive 2k there when going into the site, managing to pick up that round, getting the 2k entry they needed to absolutely flood the site and then kill the pit player. Perfect play from Team Havik. Now, this is the problem here. Now, Divergence economy, if you have a look at it, it's in shambles. We have JPEX, who has the A1. We have Ralphie, who's going with a glass cannon up. But then we have Max and Russell. They're going to, if they do decide to go for the rifles, they're going to have really low util. We only have 1 kit over on the CT side as well. So it's really important, if we do see Team Havik get that bomb plant down, it's really important to see where that kit's going to be held up to, because it will all be down to whoever has that kit. So JPEX has it at the moment. But as we say, if they manage to have a nice clean round here, pick it up without them getting the bomb down, without them losing too many players, we can see Divergent start to crawl their way back into this match. But with the way it's going right now, Team Havik, they have the momentum, they have the confidence. We have Flicky back on the AWP, so it's looking like a really good day for Team Havik right now.
Certainly is, and that round has put them in the big opportunity to just take the momentum away from Divergent. They haven't quite rested it entirely. Divergent still pretty happy. They can chalk that one up. Sometimes you lose a round just like that. And they've been close, actually, in every round, so it's not the end of the world. But because they're close, Divergent, if they lose here, they can have no money.
Exactly. So it's going to be really rough for either team, to be honest. So this round, as I said about last round, but this round really does dictate who will win this game, because it will go on to whoever has the eco next, I reckon. But we do see Team Havik taking fast mid-control here, going towards bathrooms. We do have Jamie picking up one on CSD, but Wellard picking one on Jamie, but Ralphie towards Banana here misses the first shot.
There's being fast, and there's pushing way too fast, and pushing into the waiting arms of Ralphie here, who picks up 2 as they are far too aggressive. JPEX even caught them off guard, dealt a load of damage to some of those remaining players, and as a result, Team Havik, who felt so happy coming onto this round, have been really shocked to the system as Ralphie picks up another, almost finds the no-scope there, but Wellard will finish off that one. It's 1 versus 3, and Team Havik feeling a little bit awkward right now.
Exactly, they tried to. This is the thing, right? They did what Divergent were doing on their T side in that round. They just wanted to pick up the pace, wanted to take those angels. But this is the thing: they're not get they didn't give them enough respect there. They thought they could just run over Team Divergent, but as I said before, they do have some prolific aimers on this side. And you see Ralphie picking up the big 3k there with the AWP, being aggressive, being assertive, and that's what Flicky was doing. So they need to watch out, Havik. They don't want to fall into the same trap that Divergent was falling into on their T side. But we do have the eco here, no armor. They have 3 flashes, 1 smoke. They're trying to take fast mid control, but oh my goodness, CSD destroys JPEX.
Yeah, but the molly is more than enough to pick up a couple of frags here. Wellard rushes on in, uses that Tech 9. Does manage to get a couple. The molly, again, keeping them at bay. Zimzy is moving into position. Has the M4, manages to just about take down Russell. And now it is 2 versus 3 on that retake. They have a weapons advantage, but not by much, and not when you get caught out by the Tech 9 like that. That means it's a rifle for Wellard, and Team Havik in such a good position to now pick up this round. The orb, it cannot retake like this. Ralphie is well aware, and I think he's just going to be running away, honestly, if he's not careful.
Exactly, he should be saving this ult, but he looks like he wants to stay around and try and get this team to win. Maybe he's going for the ninja diffuser, it looks like, but no, Wellard there picking up the 3k. Incredible play by him, just pushing up the bathrooms area, getting the one taps with the Tech 9 and just pushing up and making Divergent sweat. Because he took that bathroom, he took the bank position, and you saw what happened there in the 3 versus 2. He's taking the initiative, gets the pick onto Max, and Wellard and then Ralphie in the 1 versus 3 really can't do much with the AWP there. And now we see this buy coming in Divergent. It's quite a sorry sight to see. We have the Scout, we have the 2 Deagles, we have the CZ and the 1 M4, and look at Havik. They have the confidence. They're just going in for this big run.
They absolutely are, and they execute cleanly, take down Max. The smokes are in perfect position. You're trying to come and get some kind of retake, some kind of pressure if you're Team Divergent here, but it's just not gonna happen. Team Havik, again, locking down these angles fantastically. JPEX tries to get something going by moving on in there, but won't get it. The scout for Ralphie, if he can find head, sure, it'll net them a frag, but even with that, I doubt they're gonna get anything, as we see Karim shut down. Zimzy does fall, but Russell will get taken down again, and it's a scout for Ralphie versus the world here.
Exactly, 1 versus 4, and then Wellard with the 1 tap. Havik have too much confidence now. They let Divergent have a couple rounds of their own. They're being nice. They let them have a couple rounds, and then they've got their foot firmly back on the gas, not letting up now with the B rush, just taking control. And now, as we see, they've had 2 sorry buys, Divergent. I think this one's a lot worse than the last. They do have the 3 Deagles, the 1 CZ, and we do see the Nova coming out for Ralphie. We will see if he will be able to do anything with that. Maybe make it work come online, but I'm highly doubting.
I mean, they managed to find the first frag hit, and they have now got a rifle for one of their players. The Nova, unfortunately, doesn't net all too much for Ralphie. Maybe trying to use it, because, you know, it can one-shot like the AWP.
Exactly, yeah.
Sort of. But obviously not quite as useful here. Russell, though, he's hella useful with this Deagle as he takes it down alley as they try to get the point. It's 3 versus 4. They have the advantage in terms of rifles, but in these short-range fights, things can go very badly for you as Havik almost lose. Flicky here. In fact, they do as JPEX peeks from out. Russell will fall. It's 2 versus 3. Pistol and an AK versus 1, and that will be it. Divergent managed to pick up the round.
I'll tell you what, absolute heroics there with these 1Ds coming out. We did have the really nice connector push, but we did see Team Havik there being a bit too over-aggressive. Zimzy just B-hopping into connector, not thinking that a CT will be there. But he was into the waiting arms of 2 CTs, managed to pick up the AK. And if you actually do look at that, the AK managed to pick up 2 more kills. So it's actually quite they need to be way more careful here, Havik. They do not want to be given too many more rounds up and giving Team Divergent this confidence going into train. They need to get this map done and out of the way, so then they can head straight on into train and still feel like they're in control and have that confidence, and that Divergent are still firmly in the ground. But we do see a decent buy coming out here from Divergent. We do have the AK on Max, we do have the AWP on Ralphie, so we'll be able to see what they can do. But it does seem like Team Havik is looking to do a B play here, maybe a B execute. They do have all the utility in the world to make it happen. So they're probably, but we do have a decent defense over here from Team Divergent. We have 3 CTs, we have base 2 towards Monster having a nice crossfire, and we do have the 1 towards Short who's backing off towards Graffiti now. But it's all down to who can get these entries and how this utility is placed. See how well Team Havik's flashbangs really are.
I will drop that smoke on in, and that is it. It's go time. The counter utility does come in from Divergent here. They managed to find the first couple of frags. Max will fall, but Russell finds 3, and that is more than enough to put a stop to this push for now. They're still trying to make it go on in. They've got the bomb stuck in Monster here now, and Ralphie can just hold position. This is going to be so hard for them with all of the people just watching these angles. They're trapped in the site, but without the objective.
Exactly. It's still a decent situation for Team Havik. They do have the site, but the problem is they do not have the bomb. That's why they are searching for this kill towards CT. We do see Awi searching for it, so this kill is going to be huge. Jamie managed to pick up the massive 2k there, and there we have it. Divergent getting that confidence back. They've now picked up the 2 AKs, and now look at Havik's buy. They're going to be back on that eco buy, and this is going to give Divergent even more confidence. They're clawing back these rounds. Team Havik are not wanting this. They're not wanting them to build their confidence. But Divergent, by sheer will and absolutely amazing individual plays, are bringing it back closer and closer.
That they certainly are. And Divergent, I mean, they're really breathing down Havik's necks now. Havik have to feel a little bit anxious here. They don't want to lose this map. And if things keep on going like this, they really, really could. CSD barely not going down there. I assume that was a shot that went through the rock. But
Yeah,
they know exactly where Team Havik are pushing now, and Divergent are already rotating some players.
Exactly. They're going to have an extremely strong defense on this side. I don't see a way that Havik can get a bomb plant here unless they start picking up kills. But it doesn't look so. He picked up a nice 1D though. It looks like that's all they're going to get.
Ooh. Finds yet another nice 1D. He has a rifle in his hands. I mean, it's actually the AWP. Sorry, I didn't quite notice that. But Team Havik, they have site control. Russell picking up that fragment of Slimsy is very impactful, though. And that means that it's going to be hard for Aoi to actually try and make this plan. He is.
Exactly. But they don't know where he is. And that's a massive thing. But it doesn't matter. Russell pushing in towards the truck. Managed to pick down Aoi. They probably lost a bit more than they bargained for there. But it doesn't matter. They're getting these round wins. And that's what matters.
Absolutely. And picking up these couple of rounds really has to be a salve for the kind of pain that Divergent were feeling at the very start of this match. And even if they don't win this one, as we said, having that momentum, having that mental reset to go into the next map and feel a lot better about yourselves. I see a lot of teams lose their own map, pick up a couple of rounds on it though, and feel good going to the front, picking up that one. We're seeing a push towards B, but hasn't quite executed yet. They're still waiting. Russell is watching the angle though hard.
Oh, this nade could do big damage.
Ooh.
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
So we do see half damage taken to Zimzy and CSD there, and that is the time to go. That is the time to enter here. But it looks like they're not getting the entries they need. But Flicky comes in with a bit of massive 2k here on the B side.
Indeed it is. Russell isn't able to find that frag, which could have been game-changing here. Team Havik looking to finish this one out. They do have that bomb just about, but they lose Zimzy as Ralphie will push on up and take down those 2 remaining players. Pushing through that molly really netted them some frags.
Exactly, and now we see Team Havik are starting to sweat here. They do not feel like they're in control of this game anymore. That's why they're going for that fast B play. They're trying to get this game over and done with, but Divergent there, having some big individual performances on the B side, managing to pick up 2Ks, and Ralphie coming in there for the last 2K towards heaven. Now, this is where we're really going to see what Team Havik are made of. Can they keep composed? Can they keep confident? They're on another eco here, so it's probably going to be 15-12. But, cast a curse, it could always happen. They could lose this round. But,
absolutely. And I mean, early on there from CSD and from Flicky are important. Ralphie loses that AWP, but now it's in the hands of Flicky, and we've seen what this man can do. CSD almost goes down there, but doesn't quite fall. It'll be Russell to go down instead, and Team Havik, they have such a player advantage. Karun pushes on up, and that's the AWP that we were talking about for Flicky. It's 1 versus 4. And I mean, what does Max even do here with this bomb down? This is looking like it's just going to be it.
Yeah, it must be the caster's curse. They had a full eco round here with Glocks and Tech 9s, but somehow Havik are pulling it out of the bag and managing to make it work. This is not the way that Divergent wanted to lose their map pick. It's so agonizing. But we do see Max here picking up 1 on CSD. Maybe he can make something happen, but it's looking so unlikely here.
Absolutely. Max hunting for these players, baiting the defuse, but there it is. Slimzy peeks on out, gets the headshot, and cleans that one up. I mean, a clean start for Team Havik, but things got really messy towards the end there.
Exactly. Both teams losing eco rounds in this game that actually did make the difference maker in the end. But we set ourselves up nicely going into train here. We do have a warmed up Divergent now. We had a warm Havik, but we saw them make some mistakes towards the end of that game. So I think train's going to be a really interesting map to see who's going to be managed to take in that confidence from this map and who can carry it on.
Now that is very, very interesting, Cause. Thank you. Thank you both, actually, for casting this game. So the final scores are Team Havik had 15 and Team Divergent with 11. Well done, Team Havik. And remember, this is the semi-finals. So the next game that will be I think will be Team Havik's choice. So that will be Train. And so please keep watching the stream. So Quaz, as you've also been watching this game being played, who do you think's the best player, would you say? this
I
game
think I
today?
think it's joint, to be honest. At the moment, I'm torn between Flicky and CSD, mostly because of their CT side defense towards the A side. They were so dynamic. Flicky wasn't missing a beat for the first 8 or 9 rounds, hitting every single shot. CSD picking up multiple frags when they were trying to execute on sites. Where he can play B, he can play A. He was so dynamic in his playstyle that I really think both of those players should take the award and not just one.
And what would you say the highlight of the game for you would be, Quaz?
To be fair, we did have some nice clutches. We did have some nice 1v2s coming out from Team Divergent. But I just think overall, the massive highlight for me is Team Havik start to the game. The first 8 or 9 rounds. Those rounds were just really impressive to watch with how much confidence they came out with, and how efficient they were in shutting down Team Divergent.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that, definitely. And I know that, well, Train is my favourite map, actually. And also, what do you think of Train as a map? Would you say that it's quite an easier map compared to Overpass, or?
Um, I don't know about easy. They both have their different They both have their different styles. Train, you can really play either way, but you have seen a lot of teams recently being really aggressive towards the outside area, trying to take initial duels in the first 20 to 30 seconds of the round and trying to get down to Olaf towards the hell area. But we'll see. We've seen these teams are both really aggressive on their T sides, so I think it's all going to come down to who has the better T side here, and that's who's going to come and pick up this map.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, looking at the scoreboard now, I know that in Team Havik, Flicky had 30 kills, and JPEX on Divergent, the top player was, well, JPEX with 21 kills. So it's actually it was actually quite a surprising game, actually, because I thought at one moment, actually, Team Havik were just going to just ace it very, very quickly, ace this game. But however, Divergent, they did fight back. You know, they had a good. They were fighting back quite a lot. What don't you think was?
Yeah, they managed to pull it back more than I probably would have bargained for, to be honest. I didn't think they would get as many rounds as they did, but the fact that they did manage to get those 11 rounds on the board is going to give them so much confidence going on to Train. Even though the Inverted Pass was their map pick, they can go into Train now, fresh mindset, they're warmed up, they're confident, and we're probably going to see a different Team Diversion on this map pick.
Yes, no, definitely. And what do you think, Rook? Do you think that? Well, what would you say the highlight of the game would be, Rook?
I mean, I think it was that turning point, honestly, where Divergent started to pick up a couple of those frags, pick up a couple of those rounds around the half change, and really resetting their mental. I think looking at them to go forward off of that alone, you have to feel a lot more happy for them. I think the problem that we're looking at is, however, they're going into Train, which isn't their map pick. Generally, if you're going into Train, it isn't your map pick, you got to feel a little bit awkward. It's one of those harder maps, one of those maps like New, where if you don't know it, it can be difficult to play. So while normally going into this, I've seen a lot, as I said before, I've seen a lot of teams kind of swapping around, playing, winning their opponent's maps. Train is one of those where it can be particularly difficult to do so.
Yes, no, definitely. I completely agree with you. And what would you say? Is there a player that kind of caught your eye in this when watching this game?
I mean, one of the players that really showed up, especially on Divergent, Ralphie was able to find a lot of good AWP shots. You kind of saw them peeking up a little bit around. Russell as well, able to find some good rifling. But Kerem, even when the team was struggling, we actually saw some really solid play from them. And that's a player I'd like to shout out because, you know, when your team's doing well, people start to come online. They come alive. But you need these players who are that rock, who can find those frags in basically any situation. And I really have to give it to Kerem.
No, definitely. And what would you say? Because I did actually ask Quaz this just a couple of seconds ago, actually. And what would you say Train as an overall map? What do you think about it anyway?
I'm not a huge fan of it. I used to play it back in some CS Source days, stuff like that. But it's kind of, it's definitely interesting. There's a lot of interesting attacker routes you can really take about whether you're playing around Ivy, whether you're going all the way towards the back for B. I like the variety of that part of it. And it definitely has a lot of interesting plays and the rotates between. Seeing some of the kind of skirmishes on A as well is something to really watch out for because they can be really fun and dynamic playing around those trains properly. So watch out for that on A, and on for B, some really aggressive, fast entry pushes.
Oh, no, definitely. And I'm going to have to stop you there because the next the next map that we're going to play is Train, and this is Team Havik's. This is Team Havik's choice. Now, very interestingly, I think that they did very, very well in the last game anyway. There was a huge... they really, really fought for their... to win the game. And just remember that this is the semi-finals, so whoever loses these 3 games, they will become 3rd place in the Vindictive Charity Lockdown Cup. And whoever wins this, it will be decided who they need to play against. And remember, they will be winning £75 and £25 to the chosen charity. So this is going to be quite a very interesting, decent game, I think. Though, what do you think, was?
So what we talked one about Train, yeah, because realistically, I think it'll be interesting, but the reason I think it'll be interesting is to see how these T sides pan out, honestly.
Yeah, and I mean, we're seeing these T-sides start off already as we're going to get that plant down early. Russell does manage to win their duel, but as you see, bomb goes down. Team Havik, sure, they're not doing too well in terms of numbers, but being able to get that plant down is big for the overall picture of this T-side, isn't it?
Exactly, and Flicky with the big 2k there, but Ralphie coming in, managing to pick up Flicky. 3 versus 1 here, Krem with the kit and the smoke. Highly unlikely that Wellard managed to win this 1v3, but we'll see what he can do. But unfortunately, he just doesn't have the time as we did stick the bomb. But good pistol round coming in there for Team Divergent. Havik managing to get the bomb down. So it'll be interesting to see whether they do force into this, like as they did in the Overpass game.
Yeah, it's interesting to see kind of players and teams' responses to these early pistol rounds, losses, wins, whatever they're doing. And I like that we're seeing a couple of more of these MP9s than we were seeing over on Overpass, as they want to try and recoup some of the losses, because Havik did get that plant.
Exactly, but Havik just going with the full eco here, so Divergent shouldn't have any problems cleaning this up. But they do have the molly towards Ivy. They have all 5 players there. It's just going to be a bloodbath, I think, for Max. He's going to be picking up multiple kills here. There you go with the MP9.
Certainly
Money
is.
making.
Yeah, that was that an ace?
That was a 4k.
Oh, okay. I didn't quite see the last one.
Nah, Jamie managed to pick up one with the scout there.
What a KS.
But there we go. But now we have a now we flip the sides. Now it's Team Divergent coming in here with the strong fragging early on, and Flicky still having a strong performance. Has got 2 kills on the board so far. But it'll be interesting to see if Team Havik can start picking up the pace here. See what sort of strategies they have. See if they want to be super aggressive or defensive. But they are getting someone fast out towards A site here. But it looks like my question's answered. They're going super aggressive.
Yeah, Russell does manage to get one, but is instantly traded out. That scout in the hands of JPEG. Doing a good job here. Does get refragged. Just how he's just pushing on up round the backside of green here. This is a big opportunity. Flicky playing aggressively on the top. Finishes off one, and Wellard will back them on up as Team Havik picking up a couple of these rounds. And even without that early momentum like we saw in game 1, they're able to pick up some good rounds here.
Exactly, but this is the thing, and now we're seeing what sort of pace Team Havik is looking to set. Now, can Divergent match it? Can Divergent have the depth to deal with these fast plays going to come from Team Havik? Because it looks like Team Havik have that confidence now. They know they couldn't handle that outside play. And look what they're doing. They're mixing it up. They're going towards inner. And it doesn't look like they want to take their time with this. It looks like they want to go fast out towards upper and take this site by force.
Certainly do, and they are looking to just push on out. Simsy finds the first frag, but we do see Karum able to find something here. Always able to pick up at least one, and that's what I really like about this player. Divergent are now on the back foot, however, because this AWP is going to be difficult to really push on in. JPEX is trying to get some rifle towards Max, but on the whole, pushing 3v4 into that position is so hard, isn't it?
Exactly. Even trying to retake the B bomb site when you're even or even have a man advantage is so difficult when the teams are so aggressively pushed. It's almost impossible, but Divergent having the smart call here, backing off, because if you actually look as well, they didn't have a kit on the CT side, so the retake was going to be so difficult regardless. But we're seeing the pace that Team Havik is looking to set, and I did say Divergent aren't matching it at the moment. They're not looking like they understand how to stop these aggressive plays. And Havik can toy with them here. They can go fast pace, they can go slow pace, but it all comes down to how Divergent is going to react, because we haven't seen them do anything aggressive Divergent yet. We haven't seen them try to take Pop Dog, or try to take T-Con, or try to take Ivy, or go for an aggressive B pick. So these things will be really important to stop Team Havik, because Team Havik at the moment have their way with the But I said Team Havik managing to switch up their play here from going really aggressive to now really passive. Their set to play here is really interesting on this T side.
Certainly is. Zimzi peeking out aggressively, and again, looking to see these very explosive pushes onto B. I want to see a couple more players maybe moving back there, as if Team Havik try to execute there right now, the 2 players on Divergent are not going to be able to hold. They get a bit of damage onto CSD here. They push aggressively. I like that from Karum, but it was a little bit overzealous here. And now Ralphie playing from back with all these smokes in position. It's going to be hard. Misses that first shot that could have been pivotal. Will actually find the second while flashed, but goes down to that molly. It's 3 versus 2. Divergent have the numbers advantage. This time, they're looking for that retake. As we said before, gonna be hard here on bomb site B, but they're gonna lose another player as, again, Havik playing so far back, punishing them as soon as they try and go for anything, playing these different angles. Wellard, who just peeked, he has the time, he knows what he needs to do, takes down Max, and Team Havik, when they push this beat, they are so strong.
Exactly, but what we're seeing from Divergent here is their lack of, God say it, diversity in their play right now. They're not being aggressive. They're not looking to take these fights. You know, you did see their CSD getting caught out by the aggressive push, but the problem is they have no problem to they have no one to trade frag him. They have no one to help him out. So ultimately, that frag does nothing but help Team Havik. So what we really need to see here from Divergent is some aggressive pushes, working together, and actually being coordinated. And we don't want to see what happened on Overpass and that's their solo plays.
Coordination, but no awareness right now from Divergent either, as we do see JPEX get picked on off. The Team Havik continue to move onto the site. Zimzi finds frag after frag, as it's now only Karoom with that 5 HP left. The Molly is going to come on in, force them even further back. Finally finished off by Flicky, and Team Havik are running away with this T side as they just rack up dollar after dollar.
Exactly what you said. But this is where Divergent can come back. I know we said this about Overpass, but we really need them to show it here. We really need to show that they have this depth as a team, that they can dig deep. Because right now, Team Havik are just running all over them, showing them no respect, doing whatever they want in this map. And because they have the aim and the confidence, they can do whatever they want.
Absolutely, and pushing that aggressively. Russell, you should know better. Gets caught out. The flash was there. The backup was everywhere. Zimzi just rushes on through, takes down Karoom. As you said, going wherever they please, finding frags wherever they like. As Ralphie goes down yet again, and Havik have B site control.
Exactly, the bomb wasn't even close towards B there, and you see they weren't even set up to execute onto B with the whole team. It's just a hit squad going out with 2 players. But the thing is, they're taking these angles so well. They're flashing their way in. They're making the CTs feel uncomfortable. They're getting them out of position, and you see that Divergent have no answer for this. Whatever, Havik have a complete map control. Whatever they want, wherever they want to get the pick, they always get it. And you see here, CSD, even though he's getting pincered from 2 sides, manages to pick up Max somehow.
Yeah, I mean, it's just lack of respect, honestly, from Divergent. Failure to take a lot of these angels and just losing out on that. They're going to use, I assume it's them using an pause there. A little bit awkward there from Valorous, but we do see JPEX fall anyway. And Team Havik, you know what? They lose a player. So what? They have so much money in the bank, and the same can't be said for Divergent. They should be able to pick up a buy here, but after that, they're going to struggle again, and it'll be a little bit of a ramshackle buy anyway.
Exactly. It's not going to be a good buy. We did see Russell commit here with the FAMAS, and we did see JPEX commit here with the FAMAS. But the problem is, look at their util usage that they're going to be having here. They do have the 2 kits. Russell only with 2 flashbangs. Max with only a smoke and a flash. We're not going to see a molly here, I don't think. And we know the way that Team Havik have been playing. They've been playing super aggressive. So how are they going to be expected to stop these aggressive plays without the utility to actually stop them? We have 3 FAMASs here. Ralphie with only a HE grenade. Now, they did do the tactical timeout, which is good, but they should have saved here, so they would have had a really strong buy going into next round. 7 rounds T-side, I know it's bad, but the problem is they could have come back then with a really strong buy. But if Team Havik managed to pick up this round, Divergent's half is just in shambles now because their economy is absolutely in dire straits.
Yeah, there will be nothing they can do if they drop this one, so it's all or nothing as they invest basically everything. 50 and 100 left on only is the max, honestly, on some of these players. So Divergent, we're highlighting these very important rounds. This is one of them. Exactly. It really needs to.
But we've seen the way that Team Havik have been playing. They've been playing very dynamic. They can just go with the hit squad towards B with Zimzi taking the entry. But we've seen that they've slowed it down now. They don't have to go for these fast aggressive peaks. But we do see Flicky here out towards blue train, just trying to get a peek onto A side. We've seen the confidence this guy's has in this series so far. It's absolutely remarkable what he's willing to do to try and get the first frag for his team.
Smokes will go down, and using this utility early on is awful, honestly, for Divergent, but they have to do it. They don't have any other choice, and as a result, we're going to see this utility start to come in from Havik. They can peek around, they can force out whatever they want from Divergent. They basically have just been taking control of everything.
Exactly, but the good thing here from Divergent is they haven't over-rotated to the B site. I know they've been getting caught off on B, but they do have the 4-player A stack, so it is going to be... This is the best chance they have to win this round, because it does look like Havik is going to be executing out towards A, 2 towards Pop Dog, and 3 towards Tika. We'll see how the enemies come in now.
Zimzy doesn't find the buzz. It's going to be JPEX to take down CSD. There is the refrag all over the place. JPEX finds 2, but finally goes down here. Ali able to find 1, but again, that refrag comes on in. Divergent have been able to keep things even, and with no bomb plant down, they are in a good spot. They are down in terms of weapons, as Karum only has his MP9, but we've seen SMGs really make a mark here. Zimzy is trying to sneak up the back here, checking to see if there's any player in Ivy, but there isn't anyone as of yet. He's going to look towards the right, spots out a player, will be able to take down Max. That is so big for Team Havik.
They don't have bomb yet.
They don't have bomb. They're going to be able to move on in, but it doesn't even matter as Zimzy will find that frag. And Team Havik breaking the back of Divergent's economy.
Exactly. Now Divergent are going to be forced to either half buy or be on an eco here. But you see how Team Havik, when they do this execute, they just give Divergent no respect. The trades came in, but it didn't matter in the end, because we did have the flank from Zimzy coming in onto Max and Hell. They're just always one step ahead of Divergent here, and Divergent aren't able to capitalize on these trades.
Certainly aren't. Good early frags. They do manage to get something back, and the peak does net them a little. And getting something with these pistols is nice, but still, Team Havik most likely going to just be taking this round as Karum with this deagle. Sure, we've seen magic from that high caliber pistol, but it might be a stretch to take this.
Exactly, but just get the peek onto Wellard, tags him up for 20, but unfortunately the 1 versus 3 here looking highly unlikely. No kit, only deagle armor. He's probably looking here just to grab a gun, save a gun, see if he can get an extra frag. And then that's exactly what he's going to try and do into Wellard here. He manages to pick up that kill, but is he able to save the AK? That's the thing. But he's got to go across the site of Flicky, and we've seen how Flicky's been playing this series. He is not missing that shot.
Yeah, absolutely living up to his name, hitting some sick flicks and generally holding angles solidly. Sometimes it's a very underrated value in some of the more excitable parts of the community. Being able to hold that angle, so necessary for an AWP, because otherwise you're just losing that basic skill set.
But we do have an interesting buy here. This is the first time I think we've seen the double AWP set out for Team Divergent over this series, with Ralphie and JPEG picking up the AWP here. So we're going to be able to see what this double AWP setup is going to do. And they are going the aggro. My goodness, Flicky just goes out towards Pop Dog, tags JPEG towards Ivy through the smoke. This guy can do no wrong. He just doesn't miss.
He sure don't. JPEG is already on 7. You have to be so careful now. We do see Rafi try to find something, does get a frag at the very least, but that's not the way you want to use your AWP. Karum holding strong, finds the first, not a second. And that makes things a little bit awkward now for Divergent, as they are at the back of the site, are at least somewhere here, but Zimzy takes a bit of damage. The nade will finish off JPEX, as you pointed out. And now, what do Divergent do? They have to push through all of this utility. They're trying to mount this two-pronged attack, as we do see Max backing up Russell, but Max falls to the AWP, and Zimzy is going to finish off Russell here. Team Havik running away with it yet again.
They're just, the thing is, Divergent just aren't putting up enough of a fight on these sites. You see that they're trying to go for the aggressive pick there, with them flashing Ralphie into the upper. But the problem is that Team Havik is already way past where the flash will pop. So 3 players aren't even blind by that flash. They need to be a lot more fast and decisive with these aggressive picks they're doing, because they have the idea, but they just executed it way too late.
They have trying to push up here, but we've seen actually Team Havik were prepping for this strategy, were ready for it. This time they haven't prepped for it because we've just seen a lack of aggression from them. But
exactly, if we look out on B, they have B side.
Yeah.
Well, we have a knife coming in from Krem though. Managed to get the knife onto Wellard. A bit of an awkward situation, but I don't think it's going to matter nonetheless. So CSD's pushed all the way towards the CT spawn area. Aui's holding the flank, but he does have the bomb, and the bomb is not down yet.
Certainly is. Howie will find that one as they are defending strong. on this site as they have just seized control of it. JPEX is trying to move on in, but there is a player behind them. They need to be careful here. CSD takes down one. Aoi will fall. JPEX gets flanked, goes down. Zimzi is taken down. It's 2 versus 1. Ralphie does know where the bomb is, but he can't go to defuse it. There are 2 players just waiting and watching his every move. Flicky took quite an interest there. We'll finish them off finally, but Team Havik just playing with their food at this point.
Exactly, and it doesn't even matter that these rounds are close. The Team Havik have done more than enough this half. They've picked up 10 rounds on T-side train. It's looking like a done deal for them in this series. They're looking primed to take this 2-0. Divergent not really putting up much of a fight. I'm not going to say they can manage to get it down into a 1 versus 2 or 1 versus 3, but unfortunately they've been unable to convert any of those situations.
They have JPEX falls early. Wellard with an aggressive set of plays, but we do see Frags back and forth. Russell holds strong, takes down both Aoi and Wellard. Will be Zimzi who falls as well, and it's only CSD left, and he is not on the site and does not have that bomb. As now Divergent, with an early couple of frags, have taken control of this round, pretty much shielded.
Exactly, and that's what we need to see. We need to see the individuals from Divergent step up here. Russell with the big 2K, stopping the initial push of the bomb on the side there. But CSD, he's not out of this. He does have the clock on his side, and he does have full utility with the AK and all the health in the world. Now, it just matters about Divergent not losing too many players here. Are they going to be expecting this Ivy push? For the time being, no one seems it. We do have one on mid bomb, one towards Olaf, and one towards Pop Dog. But then we do see the mid bomb guy going towards E-box, probably going to be holding the E-box line towards Ivy. So he's probably not going to be managed to pick up anything here, but we'll see what he can do.
Absolutely. I mean, CSD might be able to find one, but as soon as that happens, they're going to be able to move on over to him. Does not catch Russell there on that cross, and Russell has moved up very aggressively. Will be able to finish him off with that headshot. And Divergent pick up a round again after a little bit of a break from doing so.
But the problem is, it's just a bit too little too late at this point, in my opinion. Team Havik, they have all the rounds they need on this T side. Any more than this is just a bonus to them. They've done their job. They're just looking to get their teeth sunk into their CT side, and they're looking just to close it out. But Divergent, we did see how they came back on Overpass. They made it a little bit close, 16-11. But are they able to do the same here? Do they have the resilience to dig deep and start fighting back some of these rounds?
Resilience is definitely going to be key. We need to see them hold strong here. Aggressive pushes. I like the idea from Russell, but Zimzi, he's winning those all the darn time, and you need to respect that. This is good from Karoom. Finds the first, tries to find a little bit more, but not able to find anyone, and that is so sad. Spray at range from Aoi will pick up a couple more, and JPEX is 1 versus 4 again. That could have been so darn different. Karoom almost shut down that entire push, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Unfortunately, it's what we said before. It's these individuals. We did have the push coming in. It would look really well. Russell catching Zimzi off guard, but Zimzi getting those frags every single day of the week in this game. He is not missing a beat with these upper B pushes. But the problem is Divergent are doing the solo pushes. They're not pushing as a team. They don't have someone there to refrag. And that's been the story of Divergent throughout this whole series, I feel like, is that their teamwork have not been on point in this series. And you can really see the difference between Team Havik and Team Divergent in the way they work together, in the way that they take map control, and overall in the way they've been playing this series.
It certainly is true, and I mean, the way Team Havik, their 3 main fraggers in Flicky, Aoi, and Zimzi, have been absolutely all over the place, covering each other on all these angles. You look even down to players like Wellard, who is able to pick up 5 assists alongside his 7 frags, and they just have been playing as a team. They've been right behind each other all the time, and Divergent, well, they have been right behind each other, but in the wrong ways, caught out, getting sprayed down, not looking at the right angles at the right time.
I just want to know something as well. Even though Flicky's putting up big numbers on the scoreboard, his enemy flash this game is up to 33 as well. So he's been absolutely doing massive plays for his team, not only in the fragging department, but also helping his team get onto site with these flashbangs. Because 33 flashbangs and then 15 rounds, he's flashed 2 enemies per round. Then he's having more than enough impact in terms of the util.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is a mark of a fantastic player, being able to fill these different roles and not just be confined to just fragging. Being able to provide at least something in that support role is important. And we're going to see, I think, unfortunately, not too much more of that, because Havik really looking to just close out the series on this map.
Exactly. We do have the buy coming in from Divergent, though. It is a scrappy buy. We do manage to get the AWP on Karim, but the problem is that normally Ralphie's their main AWPer, so it's interesting that they've given the AWP over to Karim, but we'll see what he can do with it. But we do have the Alligator coming in from Russell here with the auto, but Havik wasted no time getting onto this A site.
Absolutely, they have been playing thick and fast so far in this game, and they're looking to not change things up. JPEX finds 2 as the rest of the team will back them on up. It is 1 versus 2 now, and it's the AWP in the hands of Flicky. If you had to give me a man to try and finish this one off for Team Havik, it would always be Flicky, as he is so consistent. However, you might want to check his left. Doesn't actually get spotted by Karim there, and as a result, might be able to sneak into the back of B here.
Exactly. The CT's over rotating. We did have, I think it was we did have Karim towards the connector area, but just rotates the max to play the situation out together. But in doing so, he's given Flicky the whole of the B site. And now this is a winnable situation. He does have that Molotov as well, so this will play a massive part. And also, no kit on the CT side. So this retake is going to have to be insanely fast if they want to pick this round up.
Well, they only have 1 player to deal with, so it shouldn't be the end of the world, but trying to do this should be difficult. They're going to pick up AKs on both of them, and I think it's a very sensible decision. As Flicky is playing in a very off angle right now, and I love this.
Exactly. I don't think Divergent are going to be expecting this. And instead, Flicky still has that molly, but Karim does have a kit and does have that smoke now. But they're wasting their time getting onto site. They need to get on this bomb quick, otherwise Flicky's going to pick up this 1 versus 2.
He is. He fires the AWP shot, misses it at first.
Oh,
gets the second. Someone's punching it. He finds the shot. Takes their team 12-3, and Team Havik take a round that they had no business in winning.
He can just do no wrong. He's 16-4 this game, having big impact on the scoreboard, having big impact in rounds, and also supporting his team with his flashbangs. This man can do no wrong this series. Played insane on Overpass, is playing insane on Train, picking up the 1 versus 2. I just don't see a way where Divergent can come back from this. Team Havik are just way too hot right now.
Absolutely. I mean, Divergent are really going to have to change things up. Going onto this T side could be good for them. I mean, we saw a change of side was good for them on Overpass, but they might not know this map so well. They're looking for a B push, and I think Team Havik, they're very much prepared for this. They're waiting for the information, as they do have Owie. So waiting at the end of the corridor, takes down Russell instantaneously, and the rotates are coming in quick. He takes it down 2, finally falls to the last, but we're going to be seeing a bit of a shift up. Divergent, they don't want to mess. They know that the rotates have already come in. There's a player in
Popped up going to be waiting for them.
Indeed, Wellard is right there, listening for someone to drop on down. The flashes, he looks away, but he's holding the angle, takes the first, looking for that second, has the backup of their team as CSD will be able to finish off Ralphie as he tries to push. The bomb is down in such an awkward position. Karim is trying to move on up, but those shots from the USPS will just finish him off if he's not careful. Right behind him, there's the knife.
The disrespect coming in from Flicky there, but going back to the initial play there, we did see that these crossfires from Team Havik are so powerful, and they just Team Divergent aren't able to deal with it. We had Owie picking up a massive 2K there towards upper, and even if Owie went down, we did have Flicky towards connector to help him out. We had Wellard towards Pop Dog here in the rotates, and you just see what happens. Divergent are just cornered in, and they just can't get anything going for them.
Owie pushing up so aggressive right now. Doesn't know there's a player to their right, but does still find the frag. Not even a piece of skin off their back. We'll see Russell trying to take the angle. Does manage to get it. Divergent pick up a couple of frags with these Deagles. And now they are in the lead in terms of players. Not too much in the way of weapons on Team Havik. They've got a bit of a strange buy. So Divergent definitely can make their mark, as these Deagles are pretty strong. And they have the numbers advantage. They're looking to push onto A. And when you have that kind of long-range situation, things look pretty darn good for you.
Exactly, but we do have the 2 smokes on here from Divergent, 1 on Krem and 1 on JPEX. We'll see what we can do with them, but this is going to be the big play. The man himself, Flicky, towards Sandwich. Is he going to be able to stop this push coming out from Divergent? From what I've seen so far, I would put my money on him, but we'll see how Divergent approach this. But they're taking it really slow. They're trying to make the CT sweat, and Russell there taking first contact towards there.
Well, Russell tries to move on in. Looking aggressive, knows where Flicky is, and it absolutely turns away back. Big mistake. Actually finish him off, but Wellard with that Mag 7 able to find a frag onto Karim as they try and move. Drops the utility to try and interrupt, but gets taken out of the sky. Simsy tries to pick on out, but only has that Mag 7, isn't able to find the round. And Divergent pick up a T-side.
Exactly. I think the series has been just eco. I've seen so many half buy and eco wins this series that I might as well just say that whoever's half buying might as well just win the round at this point. Divergent there with the Deagles, getting the first 2 picks, and then playing it really well. They've slowed it down a lot, made the CT sweat, put them out of positions, and then capitalised. But we do see the return buy coming in from Team Havik. We do have the 3 pistols, the 2 Deagles, the 5.7, the MP9, and the Scout coming out.
Absolutely. Current picks up the frag on Zimzy. Divergent getting very aggressive here, taking down CSD, taking control of Ivy, and this means that now they have access to a wide variety of things. Aoi is reinforcing the area so they can't just have free reign, but most of 2 players of Divergent already pushed up, looking towards this B side.
Exactly. We do obviously have Wellard in Pop Dog, though he's going to be here in this, but not much he can do about it, unfortunately. That we'll see. We're going to see if Team Havik can get any consolation frags here. But Wellard coming up the ladder, unable to kill JPEX, and it looks like a clean sweep here for Divergent this round.
Yeah, some solid stuff. And I mean, they got very close. Karim on 3 HP. JPEX almost went down to that one. Just one more bullet would have finished it. Aoi able to find a nice deagle shot. Coming back with a vengeance. Flicky gets the body shot, takes down another. It's 2 versus 2 after what looked like a fantastic start for Divergent. It's all gone downhill. Max waiting in this smoke. Doesn't know where they're going to be pushing from. Howie is right up against him. The spray comes in. He turns around, but JPEX will finish off his own teammate. It's 1 versus 1. JPEX does not have a lot of health. Flicky was trying to get that defused, but Divergent will be able to put a stop to that, and they pick up another.
Exactly, way too close there for Divergent. It was a 5-on-2, came down into a 1 versus 1. Now I know Divergent aren't going to be too happy about that, but Havik, even with the half, actually Havik decided to force back into this round again.
I mean, you were talking earlier about how important these sports and half buys are and how they've been so good.
I know, but but the thing is, they have the advantage. They can chill. They can get their full buys up. But it looks like they just want to end the game quick and get it over and done with. But this could actually come back to punish them.
Yeah, if they make mistakes here, they're going to have such an awful economy afterwards that it's going to be difficult to put together a buy. They'll have to wait 2 rounds, and then Divergent will be creeping ever closer to winning this match. Utility coming in early from Divergent. I like this. Maybe looking to challenge Pop Dog. Doesn't jump down. Russell doesn't quite want to go for that yet. There isn't actually anyone in there. 2 players from Team Havik pushed up very aggressively.
Yeah, they're in TCOM. They're waiting for Ralphie here, so this is going to be an imperative point of this round to see if these 2 guys in TCOM can get this done. Wellard and Aoi here, but Ralphie is just jiggling, see if there's anyone here. It all depends on his kill. And there we go, Ralphie got the big 2K.
Yeah, they weren't actually ready for him. He's the one who got the drop on them instead. Ralphie does manage to find that one. Scout for CSD finds a lot of damage, even manages to take down Ralphie. Takes down JPEX. CSD able to find a couple of frags, but again, Divergent, because they had a better buy, things just went so well for them.
Exactly. A couple of insane shots. The second shot there from CSD, pretty nuts, but unfortunately not managing to get it done there. But now this is where it is. Divergent can start crawling their way back into the game as they did on Overpass. Team Havik, they need to respect them, even though they have such a high lead. We saw what happened on Overpass. Divergent managed to claw it closer and closer and closer. Then we don't want that happening right now, because otherwise Team Havik are going to be in such a precarious situation if the Divergent get warmed up.
Indeed, they are. Divergent looking very warm right now, finding frag after frag after frag. Again, into an eco round, little bit of easy pickings, but some good shots regardless. Divergent closed it out, losing only JPEX.
Exactly, but now it's going to be interesting to see what Team Havik do here, because we could have an AWP out, but CSD would have to buy it, but it looks like no AWP. Now, this could be interesting here, because obviously we know that Flicky, a very, very influential AWPer, the way he's been playing this entire series. We'll see what he can do with the A4. He probably won't be as aggressive with it, but I'm still sure with his skill set, he'll be able to get the job done with it anyway.
Absolutely. Is pretty solid in general, so definitely not expecting them to kind of just be enabled to play without that AWP. We've definitely seen some good pistoling from them, so definitely can play the game in general. Russell, this time, getting very aggressive here into Pop Dog. I don't know if they heard that flash. I don't know if they know he dropped. But if he isn't careful, he might get caught off guard here. Seeing some aggressive positioning from Karim as well.
Exactly. We do have the flash into T-Con. They do have T-Con control again, but Wellard looking to get flashed into Pop Dog here. Or, there we go. There's the flash come in. Russell Beautiful flash there. Well, I've managed to pick up that kill. Russell had no chance of getting that, and now now Team Havik have the one-man advantage. But we'll see how they play it. We do have Flicky rotating towards the inner site here. They have pop dot control. They have T-con control, and that is why they're able to rotate this extra player towards B for that defense. But we do see the two-man coming out Ivy here.
Absolutely. Nice play there from Wellard. Takes down Max as they try and push on up. But they do still have that player on Ivy. CSD will shut them on down. Ralphie, waiting for that position, knows about it now because they tried to catch him out before. Wellard, however, playing E-Box here, does find yet another. Doesn't manage to stop Ralphie from taking down CSD, but it is that 1 versus 3. And Ralphie, I think he's just going to save here.
Well, he has 28 seconds. He's running towards Ivy. I don't know. He seems like he still might go for it here. He has that confidence getting these 2 kills. Flicky may not actually realise he might have gone Ivy, but he's jumping up towards Bomb Train. And there you go. His sights are now set on Ivy. He should be able to manage to pick this up unless he times him. But Flicky should be able to pick up Ralphie here in just a couple seconds.
There they are. Those shots will very much distract him. Ralphie will go down, and Havik just 2 rounds away from closing out this series. There will still be a bye for Divergent here, so it's not the end of the world dropping that one, but it's going to be difficult. They don't have all that utility that they really wanted to have otherwise.
Exactly. I still think the saving grace here is that Flicky is not on his AWP. You know, I mean, honestly, that is a saving grace. Ralphie has the AWP here towards T-Con. Probably going to be holding for that push because we've seen Havik. They've gone for that aggressive T-Con push so many times this half, but we've seen them actually do something completely different. They've taken Ivy control. They know no one's towards Ivy, but here's Ralphie trying to get that first pick on towards A. Is he able to pick it up? It will be so important if he's able to pick up this first kill.
Indeed it is. Max, taking this angle, Zimzy does manage to retreat. The flash comes on in, but it isn't enough. And as a result, he will go down. Divergent able to break onto this B site. There's no one there. The spray through the smoke comes out from Karim, and this is so big for Divergent. They get the plant down. Being able to push on to be like this, really solid. No real chance of a retake.
Exactly. That's what you call a perfect fast B play there. They see Zimzy, he's trying to go for the jiggle peek as you normally do towards ramp, but the problem is he manages to get tagged up, and that slows him down enough so that they can rush out onto B site. And luckily for Divergent, Team Havik had no one to help him there, had no one to help Zimzy, and they managed just to overwhelm the SWAT site and just kill anyone trying to come in just on the rotate. But we'll see if CSD can save the A4 here. It won't look like he's going to be doing much with it because his team's economy is absolutely in the bin. But never say never. We have seen these eco rounds go swing one way before, so I'm not going to count Team Havik out on this round.
I think Havik will probably buy up here. I'd be very surprised if they didn't, seeing their prior buys. But it looks like they actually won. Okay, I was wrong there. I expected them to do something. They're going to get a couple of pistols to try and do something about it. But they're saving up for the next round as well.
I think this round, watch out for the nade strike here. We do have nades on Zimzy, Flicky, and Owie. They're looking to get these 3 HEs into play here. As soon as they find contact, they're going to be chucking those HEs in like a airstrike. So we're going to have to watch out for that one and see if Divergent can avoid the utility damage. But they're doing well so far. They're taking towards pop dot control. They're taking Ivy control. Just holding a passive default. And Ralphie here holding Ivy with the AWP. Just making sure that that Havik aren't doing anything fast. They're not trying to put a fast one on them. But CSD with an aggressive position here in upper.
He is. He can't quite be seen. Flash will come on in. CSD still playing passive. Doesn't quite catch the sight of him. Karim doesn't know he's there still. Peeks on out. Finally spots him. Realizes his mistake. CSD gets away with that one like a smooth criminal. Team Havik picking up that first frag. Looking to take themselves to match point. JPEX, however, getting aggressive like this is fantastic. Will manage to finish off another with the pack up of Max, and Divergent now evened things on up. They've got the bomb back in spawn and looking to just push onto A here.
Exactly, but this is dangerous. But Russell manages to alleviate some of the danger here by picking up Owie. But CSD here with the rifle coming in from back lanes. Is he able to pick up one? He does. He managed to pick up one onto Ralphie. 2 versus 2 here. Havik managed to pick up Russell as well, but Max in the 1 versus 1.
Is. Max has that health advantage, but with these rifles, a headshot is all it takes. He doesn't notice him, but does finally flick on over as Flicky was trying to line on up that shot. And Divergent, they're only 5 rounds away from Team Havik right now.
Exactly, these rounds are really coming down to these pivotal moments, the 1 versus 1 and the 1 versus 2 situations. But it does seem that Divergent right now are coming out on top in most of these situations. But look what we have on Team Havik. We have Flicky on the Orb and we have CSD, the two main men of the last map. So we'll see what they can do with the Orbs on this one. But it does seem that Ralphie trying to go for that fast peek out towards A doesn't get anything from it. But we do see that Havik have used quite a lot of utility. They only have one Molotov left now to hold back these pushes from Divergent.
Rafi takes a bit of damage from said Molly, but we'll just back up, pick up that bomb, and a couple of players here from Divergent looking towards Ivy. No one's playing super aggressive in Ivy from Team Havik, so I like that they've done this. They're trying to at least garner some information, maybe look for a push down to it later on into the round. These smokes very much being the only thing separating Team Divergent and Team Havik here. You need to be careful, because if you push out that little bit more, we're gonna see players just starting to hit the floor. Flicky is watching the angle, but starts to back on off. It's all coming to a head right now as they're looking to push onto B.
Exactly. But Divergence still with their passive setup here. They can do have pop control. They're running back from Ivy. It looks like they're going to go back into the B execute here, and that is the right call. We just see one CT over here, probably Zimzy on the side, but we just see they're probably going to be setting up for this B execute, and they still have Havik still have 4 of their players over towards A. This is the correct call, but now look, they're taking a bit too long. So we do see one player rotating to B. We do see the Molly come out as well. Now this is really important because Zimzy can have a massive impact here.
Oh, what a spray down here. Zimzy finds 2. Russell will manage to finish them on off. They are able to get this bomb down without interference. But JPEX continues to try and play down these lanes. Wellard flicks on over, takes down Russell, takes down JPEX, and will finish off Max as well. Team Havik are going to get the defuse off of the back of that 3K. And now they're on match point.
There you go. Perfect play from Zimzy there. He drops the molly around about 30 seconds because he knows Divergent's not made any noise towards A. Drops the molly down because there's no pressure has been on B, and that absolutely destroys Divergent there. They have to smoke the molly and they have to come out of the smoke with no flashbang. Zimzy managed to pick up 2 big kills, and you see Wellard there on the retake picking up the 3K. Now we do still see it's an okay buy coming in from Divergent. We do see the sawn off come into play, but we still do have the 4 AKs. But we still have that double up setup for Team Havik here. But Zimzy only on the P250. That's going to be a little bit interesting.
His Wellard looks away as he tries to get the flash. Ralphie makes good use of that shotgun. Unfortunately, the rest of their team not able to make good use of those rifles as they are just decimated. And Team Havik, wow. What a performance for that final.
Exactly. Even looking at the scoreboard here, we have 3 players on 16. We have Flicky ending the game on 23 and Zimzy on 22. They had a really good team performance here with a couple of standout players. But overall, I can say that Team Havik thoroughly deserved it. They had a really strong tactical base coming in here, and they were so confident. They came in super hot, and Divergent really didn't have a chance.
Well, thank you so much for casting Rock and Quaz. Can I ask before we finish the stream, Quaz, for example, I know that I asked you before what was your who do you think the player of the game was? Now in this train game, who do you think the player of the game? Who do you think the player of the game was?
Honestly, I do think it was Zimzy because of his massive plays, especially on T side when Divergent were pushing towards upper B. He managed to always get a kill there and always get the entry onto B side. And then you saw on the CT side, his B hold was stellar. He hardly got caught out, and if he ever did, he was always good for 1 frag. So I would say Zimzy in that map.
And what do you think, Rook, as well?
I mean, Zimzy, very solid, as you say, but I mean, the stats don't lie. Flicky, absolutely fantastic in the AM, fantastic in the prior one. We can ignore that, but 39 players flashed at the end of that game as the title card came on up. Top of the leaderboard, lowest number of deaths on their team. Just a really solid player. Sure, they weren't making the impact, really big early impact frags like Zimzy was, but they were such a solid rock for their team.
And what would you say was the highlight of the game for you, Rook? Anyway.
Actually, I would put it down to round 24, like about a minute ago, because of how short that prior round was. Wellard finding that 3K, that was really what put the nail on the coffin for Team Divergent.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree with that. And Quaz, what would you say was the highlight of the game for you, anyway?
To be fair, my highlight of the game wasn't really a round win, but it was probably CSD's scout headshots on that A side towards Sandwich. He hit some incredible shots there. That's probably my player to game for that.
Well, thank you so much for contributing, both of you. And I know that, well, Mirage was going to be the final decider, but unfortunately, Team Havik won both games. And this game was Team Havik with 16, Team Divergent with 9. So Team Havik will go to the semi-finals, which will be on Saturday at 8 p.m. So please do tune in. And there will be another semi-final game. Sorry, I do apologise. On Saturday, 8 p.m. with Ferro Gaming and Matt's Derby Army. So hopefully, whoever wins that, Team Havik will play against them. And the prize draw will be £75 and £25 to the chosen charity. So thank you so much, Quaz, Rook, and if you guys want to follow our Twitter, it's actually on the stream title, as you can see. But thank you also. Just a quick shout out for Team Vindictive Talon, and also his colleagues as well. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next time. Thank you, guys.